Hey guys, wanted to bring you another video regarding the San Francisco 49ers NFL draft. This is kind of giving my grade and recap of the Niners and if they met all the needs or who they drafted made sense. So, definitely, if you saw my reaction for Trey Lance, definitely agreed that first round, third pick, Trey Lance made sense, especially if you're trading all the way up instead of having Mac Jones that has a low ceiling. You want to get someone with a high ceiling, especially that could potentially be one of the best quarterbacks in the draft class, minus Trevor Lawrence. But again, sometimes it goes with the situation, coaching, and everything. You could mark or checkbox the coaching with Shanahan, and then you got a good GM there. Then you have also a great system, so it can fit if Trey Lance can absorb everything and has the physical ability to do everything that Kyle Shanahan is looking forward to. Especially the way I've seen him run, I hope he's not going to be like RG3 where he could not learn how to slide. So he definitely needs to learn and make sure he protects himself, because even his coach from North Dakota State was nervous whenever he ran sometimes, because he would try to get those extra yards instead of trying to slide and protect himself. So it's not college anymore. You really have to, these guys can't take you out. I mean, look at RG3. I know RG3 is a smaller frame than Trey Lance, but that is one of the reasons why we had to move on and look for another quarterback instead of Jimmy Garoppolo. I know Jimmy Garoppolo is not like Patrick Mahomes or anything, but the thing is, we can't argue and discount Jimmy Garoppolo for what he did for the Niners. He was one pass away from being a Super Bowl champ. So, that being said, the problem was that the 2 seasons he was hurt, the Niners has losing record, and the 1 season he was healthy, he took us to the Super Bowl. So I can't say he's the worst quarterback out there. He is definitely, I would say, not like a Trent Dilfer or anything, a little bit better than Trent Dilfer, but I would say like better than game manager, but he could definitely run the system. It's just he was never, ever healthy. So that's where you're going to see a theme through this draft. So I think that's where Trey Lance made sense, especially if he could sit behind Jimmy Garoppolo in what scenarios that I could see. From what I've heard, Jimmy Garoppolo already texted him and welcomed him to this team. So I could see an Alex Smith situation and Patrick Mahomes. They're keeping professional in that sense, and they know the writing's in the wall for Jimmy Garoppolo. So, I mean, that's very classy and professional of Jimmy Garoppolo, what he's already done with Trey Lance. Unlike like the Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers situation at the time. So, I would say, and this is also giving an audition for Jimmy Garoppolo for another team, showing that if he could stay healthy and show what he can do, this might make sense for him too. So, it's a win-win situation. Now, like I said, I've changed my tune where I thought we're going to have to trade Jimmy Garoppolo right away. But now that you've drafted Trey Lance, now you have depth at that position. If Jimmy Garoppolo gets hurt, then yeah, you're going to toss Trey Lance. He's better than C.J. Beathard or any of the other quarterbacks we had, Mullins. And so I think it makes sense. It adds depth, at least right there, for the foreseen future. So the next one is the second round. We on the 48th pick, we drafted Aaron Banks, offensive guard. So definitely makes sense. Bolsters the line. Again, I think that helps add depth for our team. And because we were injured ridden throughout the system or the lineup. So I definitely think it makes sense to draft line. So definitely went offense. First 3 picks already. Because first 3 rounds, I mean. Round 3, number 88 pick, which I was a little surprised, but then I was like, wait a minute, we had some of our running backs out, like Coleman's, Mostert. I think Wilson was out. So there, we went down to our 4th or 5th string running back. So I was like, all right, it might make sense to get another running back to add depth. But I was like, wait, we had Galliman that we just signed recently from the Giants. So we're adding a lot of depth. You'll see. Trey Sermon, he comes from Ohio State, I'm pretty sure. And then the great thing is Kyle Shanahan knows what he's looking for his running backs. So I definitely trust him there. Then in the 3rd round, still 102 pick, we got a cornerback. So that, again, adds depth. He's going to be able to compete with our cornerbacks right now, with Jason Verrett and Emmanuel Mosley. So after that, yes, like what it says, but it gets pretty thin after that. So sooner or he gets up to speed, the better. So he's probably going to play in the first season. So it's pretty quick, because we needed depth there. So it made sense there. Offensive tackle, 5th round. So we didn't have a 4th round because we traded up to get that running back, Sermon. So 5th round, number 155 overall pick, Jalen Moore, offensive tackle. Again, that's adding depth to our offensive line, so that makes sense. Next position, cornerback. So adding more depth on the 5th round, 172. You're adding competition. You're trying to push that team with depth and trying to compete. 5th round, 180 overall, Talana Hufanga from USC. So another defensive player. Makes sense. Safety at depth. So he's more of a box safety with none of the group. Tarius Moore and Tark and Marcel Harris signed beyond this season. There's a chance for to win a roster spot on special teams. So he's probably not going to play right off the bat, but again, it's adding depth because we had so many injuries. If you got players that could potentially play right away, that will help, or get that experience. Now this was a little surprising, again, because we have, I believe, Coleman still, Mostert. Then you also have, I'm pretty sure I'm thinking it's C.J. Wilson, I believe we still have. So we have a lot in Galman, and then we just drafted Sermon, and now Elijah Mitchell from Louisiana. So you can read right here, and he was our last pick of the draft. It says, again, the 49ers believe they can never have enough depth at running back, though it's surprising to see them not select at least one right receiver or tight end. I don't think we need... Well, actually, we could have used a tight end, too, because I forgot Jordan Reed retired, too, recently. And we could have probably added depth. That's one thing I thought we could have added was a receiver more than running back at this point. So it said Mitchell can produce a lot of big plays for the Cajuns. He'll have multiple uphill battles to win a roster spot, but might be able to stick if he can prove a capable pass catcher out of the backfield. So... yeah, I would, but I know you're going to be hard to find anyone that we needed in the receiver or tight end position in the 6th or 7th round. So at that point, you're kind of looking for who could be the best fit with the most potential and upside as a project too. Usually, look at Tom Brady, went 6th round, more like adding depth and project in that sense, but. That's what you're kind of looking for sometimes in those late rounds that has the most potential and high ceiling. So hopefully he turns out. If not, like I said, there's probably going to be more players out there. But I thought we could have used a receiver or even tight end. I agree there, like the analysis. So overall, I would give it a solid B. I think they addressed the depth for the positions. I thought they addressed too much depth on the running back position. So if they addressed it more on the wide receiver and tight end, I think, because that was one of the other weaknesses too. They addressed the line, which is great. They addressed the cornerbacks, which is great because Sherman's no longer there. So unless Sherman wants to come back on very cheap contract, which he could help teach these corners, that will help too. So the Niners are definitely looking to improve their offense. I think their defense is going to be solid if they got all their players coming back healthy. Again, I believe it's a Super Bowl roster if they're healthy, because look how bad we were decimated without having all that depth. So I'm looking forward to this season, especially the development of Trey Lance. The interviews I've seen him go around, very professional. I'm happy with Jimmy Garoppolo kind of like welcoming. He knows the writing the wall, but he's being professional because he does have the no trade clause too. So it will also benefit to him if he plays very well. I mean, if he takes us to the Super Bowl and wins it, hey, that's going to make things difficult too. So, and could also help the Niners if they do want to still trade him. We might get a lot for him if he wins the Super Bowl in that sense, with a healthy team. So, overall, again, I was very excited with Trey Lance. I'll probably put the short film in the description if you haven't seen my reaction, because I was really going to be disappointed if it was Mac Jones. You're leveraging so much for the future of this organization if you were just going to choose someone with a low ceiling. So I've seen so many Niners fans comment they were excited like me. Hopefully, let me know what you guys think. Are you excited for this draft? Are you excited what we did in the draft? Did you think what we did will be able to compensate what happened last season? Did we address all the positions? Again, I think we could. I mean, with the deep wide receiver position this season, I thought we would try getting a wide receiver more than anything. Later in the second or third round, or like there should have been a receiver we could have probably found somewhere to add depth, or a tight end, because we found George Kittle pretty late too. So, hey, maybe they're good at finding that position later in the rounds. But again, can't knock the organization. They're swinging for the fence and trying to hit a grand slam with Trey Lance and the team. So hopefully it works out this season. It's going to be a tough season coming up. Our division's very tough, but looking forward to it. And are you guys, or also another question for you guys, are you guys disappointed we did not get Aaron Rodgers? Me thinking about it, it would have just only been three, and this is one reason why I didn't want Tom Brady when I heard about that rumor, was that you're only going to get Tom Brady or even Aaron Rodgers, bring them back home for only maybe 2 to 4 years max, I would say, for any of those two players. I can't see them playing that long because of how old they are. But I know they're defying against Father Time. But again, Father Time is always undefeated, and you got these young quarterbacks that yes, I don't know if they're going to pan out, but you always have that chance. And imagine if Trey Lance got, and he's young, he's only 20 years old. Imagine he averages like what most quarterbacks average, about 10 to 15 years in the league. That's going to be set for 10, 15 years for your organization if he works out. So I'd rather go for the younger quarterback at that point instead of someone that old, and trading more draft capitals and some roster players that they mentioned. So again, I'm glad we didn't go with the Aaron Rodgers route after thinking about it. Because I'll admit, when the news dropped, I was like, man, it would be nice to have Aaron Rodgers. But then thinking about it, they're probably going to ask a boatload. So you'd rather have someone young and proven that could do it. Like Jimmy Garoppolo, that made sense because he was young and he's proven with what he did for the time with New England as much as he played. So Again, let me know what you guys think. Niners Nation, and definitely appreciate all the thumbs up. Definitely appreciate all those comments with the short film that I put up. And again, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button if you like the draft for the Niners. Again, I put a solid B, and then because it didn't meet all the draft needs of at least wide receiver or tight end, because I thought we had too much running back. I understand one at least. So again, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, and then if you haven't subscribed to our channel, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. And also, together we can build better tomorrow. Appreciate the love and support. Thanks.